Namaste. Welcome to Light Laughter and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt, and my co-host Patty Peterson are here to welcome you all on this really big Wednesday. It's a new moon. It's a something lunar eclipse, right? What is it?
I know hybrid.
A
It's
hybrid.
solar, it's solar or lunar.
Yeah. What kind of eclipse is it? There's
If
so
anybody
many
knows, put it in the chat.
There's so many things going on. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, it's an eclipse of sorts. And we're coming out of this just the beginning of this 50,000-year cycle and headed right into a retrograde, which is going to begin on Saturday. So we're in the pre-phased. So there is a lot going on. There's a lot flushing up. There's a lot happening with our poor minds and our poor bodies and everything. So and that's partly why I haven't done a show for a couple of weeks is my poor body. So welcome everyone. If you are here via Oneness Talk Radio Facebook or YouTube, jump on in the chat, say hi. We love to know who our little gathering is with us. It makes it a lot more fun, and we can answer any questions if you have them. And if you are listening to this via podcast later, welcome. We are glad you're listening. And we are live every Wednesday on Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, and YouTube at, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. So today, our topic, fears, dreams, and revelations. Right now with this retrograde, it's all about the re's, right? Time to kind of relook, redo a lot of things. But this one is about revelations. So you might be noticing, and Patty and I will both share our experience around this, things that may be stopping, things that may be starting, things that the universe is like putting in place for you so that you have the opportunity to really look deep and allow what's revealing to you, the revelation of maybe what needs to be healed, what needs to be looked at, because it's all about this eye, this open eye right now, and what needs to be understood. I mean, we're in an opportunity in this potentiality that hasn't been before, and it's all about the revelations in the eye and looking. And that might bring up some things. There's parts of the body and the ego and whatnot that don't necessarily want to look. So, Patty, how are you experiencing this energy?
Well, I'm finding definitely even, in my clients that even if they're not conscious of it, some that haven't seen me for a while are all of a sudden saying, it's time and coming in. I need to see you right now. And I am so done with this old pattern. And that's an important piece to remember is, part of this Mercury retrograde and the big light streams coming toward us. It's a good time to release the past, release doing things the same old way. And when we're saying, yes, we're going to do that, guess what? The ego will flare up sometime, won't it? and bring up, and I felt that myself, some of these fears, and we may not even be conscious of what those fears are, right? We start feeling anxious or nervous system is just a little rattled. And I know a lot of our fears can be unconscious until we can sit with them. And can we sit in that discomfort? And so helping, it's my reminder for myself instead of immediately running, well, fix this, do this, change this. Can I sit and see what's revealed, right? What flushes up? And that I think takes practice. That doesn't it, to sit in that discomfort?
Oh yeah. No, it's not a good place to be. That's why we tucked
For
it
the mind.
away. Because it was uncomfortable. And then finally we get so tired of living the life that's created due to not looking at it. that we're saying, okay, you know, I'm going to take the uncomfortableness and take a look. And, you know, that's, there's a couple directions I want to go. That's one reason the plant medicines have gotten so popular, like the magic mushrooms and the ayahuasca journeys, and now in Boise and many places there's ketamine clinics, and they all do that. They relax the ego enough so that you can sit in that uncomfortable spot and look at it and heal it. And I wanted you to share, you told me an acronym around fear yesterday. I think it's so
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah, because in the past, as a healer, I'd often heard it, explained as false evidence appearing real, the acronym for fear. And the other day, I was watching a TV show, Netflix, apparently, and then this one came up to me, and I'm like, how perfect. It was face everything and relax. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we've got to do right now when these fears start flushing up. And even asking ourselves, my greatest fear is, and see what comes forward. The more we can put a little attention, acknowledgement, it's not going to be sideways trying to sabotage us.
Right.
And just say, oh, wow, okay, that's my greatest fear. Well, is it really that big or big of a deal? Right? Some might be. And there's a lot we could say about that. The greatest fear most people have is dying.
Right.
Right. But I thought that was pretty cool. Face everything and relax. So sitting with these fears and let them be heard. Then can we love them? I shared one other time a practice that was given to me by a mentor when I was having an unconscious fear squirreling away in my sacral area. And they said to look at a tree and imagine that fear, invite the fear to come out from behind the tree. And I love that. Because just use your imagination, and it may look like that scared little child. Maybe it looks like something from a past life, but invite it out and let it have a voice and watch what happens. Just give it a voice, let it be heard. Can you love it and remind it it's not going to run the show?
I think I'm hearing your dog snoring in the background.
Very much so.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
I'm
my old
looking for
man.
windows to close. Like, do I have something open here? And I'm like, oh no, it's your dog.
Yes, relaxation.
Oh, they're so good at reminding us how to do that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you mentioned a couple of things that are frankly funny. See that fear hiding behind a tree? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Go ahead. Just call it, like, envision it. If it's more easy for us to envision, come invite it out from behind a tree, sit with a tree and do that.
So my first thought to that when you mentioned it was the vision of our teachers. So our teachers are Shri Ramka and Master Lady Kira Ra. And when they first came together for a sacred union experience, Shri actually hid behind a pole. And and so his greatest fear, I mean, you talked about one of the biggest fear is dying, but one of the other greatest fears is transparency.
Being really seen.
Really
Yes.
seen and change, right? And that's often what's going to happen if you're getting close to being with your sacred union partner, or frankly, any relationship really will offer you that reflection, even all the way up to your sacred union partner. So I think one of the biggest fears for me is to really be able to look at myself in the mirror, and can I do it without judging anything? I mean, aren't we afraid of our own judgment?
Yes. Yeah, and there's subtle judgments that we didn't even realize they were judgments. They can be so subtle sometime, and then I'll go, whoa, that's actually a judgment that I didn't realize was.
Exactly. Yeah, when you fine tune yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And something else you said too, you're seeing a lot of clients like coming in saying, okay, I'm just done with that. Let's take care of it now. I've been feeling that as well. And I don't know if it's the 50,000 year cycle where it's like, okay, it's just like, okay, we don't need to do this anymore. I get it. I see it. I'm done now. And I believe we can change it faster than we've ever been able to.
Yes, I
Because
do too.
just because of the intensity of the energy and really this open eye, everything just needs to be looked at and loved. Well, first we got to look at it.
Right. To have the courage to sit and look and really see. Absolutely. And that's a way I do encourage people, is that it is much quicker in today's energy to shift. But it takes that commitment, right? Steadfast commitment, that focus. And when is our enough? For each person, it's different. And if we're in a relationship or, somebody we love, to not, we want them to get there, and yet it's their journey. And when will they be ready to meet their enough is enough, to allow that?
Right.
Yeah. Because control is another area we try when the fears are coming up, where we can try to control things. And how aware are we of different areas of our life where we do?
Oh, absolutely. OCD.
Yes.
Yeah, I notice when something's coming up for me, the mind gets a little busy, and then I want to start cleaning everything and putting everything orderly in its spot. This is something my mom did too, because I can't control the outer world. I am going to control this and I'll feel better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear you. My go-to, since I had children, if I was triggered or upset, go clean.
Well, and it offers clarity too. With that being said, I mean, if
Yeah.
you're having a hard time deciding, making a decision, wanting to look at yourself, it helps to have your entire space impeccably clean. It will offer that energy of clarity to you so you can look. So, I mean, I guess there is a
True. Yeah, there's that side too, where in some ways, even doing dishes can be meditative, and an intuitive hit will come in or something. And
right.
yeah, it's what our intentions and our mind are at that time. And so, yeah, knowing, right now in the big energies, a lot of fears are really amplifying too. And there's a gift in that.
Yeah.
And some of us are finding, how about the fear of our power, who we really are, right? That's another big one.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What we can do with it, sure. I'm noticing too in the body stuff, not only the mind, but the bodies are being triggered too. As we get closer, because now this unification molecule has I don't know, reignited or expanded. That's another thing that's happening right now. The unification molecule was like first opened in 2013, and like it was seeded then, and now it's going through this expansion. So we all have this opportunity for unification. But the first unification is the unification with your soul, unification with your soul and your body, a form. And so the body might be saying, oh no, I don't know if I trust this soul.
Very much so.
And it's going to be acting up as well as the mind. So there's a lot going on.
Yes, and as medical intuitives, when we see where certain congestions are, gives us an idea of where some of that old trauma, fear, unhealed aspects are, and that will often, with the light, want to come forward. And so there's a lot of gifts in that, but it can definitely be a little uncomfortable for periods of time. And again, to allow, that so much love for the body. And that's coming forward for me more and more and more. We live through the society, especially as women, and all of this, how to look as we have more years under our belt. and how easy it is then to do the comparisons and the judging. And And how much can we go back to, oh my gosh, beautiful body of form. I love you. Look what you've navigated. Look what we're doing. How exciting this is. And we're here to touch and to love and to savor some yummy food.
Right. And 300 years, our body has that potential, 300 plus years. So I was just thinking about that today. So we have really taken on a strong belief system as a society around the 100-year mark, being the deadline.
Yeah, and thinking even 80s is old or,
80 years old. Yeah, no, not at all.
No. I would just went to the health food store to grab something, and that owner, she was such a pioneer here. She started her health food store decades and decades ago. She's 93. She was there doing the books. Isn't that wonderful? I'm like, wow, I love it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love sometimes going through YouTubes and seeing some of these 90-year-old women still doing gymnastics and doing yoga and and some of those things thinking, yes, good. We need that. We need
Those role models now. Absolutely. Yes. So, yeah, it's coming out. Some of these fears are showing up through the body. And as we continue to love, be with, and open, clear these spaces, those dreams, right, Cher? What?
Well, and a big key to all of that with the body is to move forward towards your dreams and have the joy. And as you take the action, I've noticed the big leaps that I take are the ones that I get the most healing from.
Good point. Yes. Again, as a medical intuitive, one thing we do with every one of our clients is, what is your vision? I don't want to use the word need, but to have a vision, to have a dream helps to move forward.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, without a vision, it's hard to move anywhere or clarity.
They stuck in those same old patterns. Absolutely. And did you recently do a show about letting go of some of the old dreams and
yes, I did.
New? Okay, because that's kind of what I've been noticing now is like dusting off maybe some of those dreams we had might need a little what would you call it, uplifting or renewal or refining for who we are right now.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Look at them again, add a little different energy to them, turn up the volume, turn up the light, turn up the color.
Yes.
Add some new features.
Yes. Do you have a certain practice that you do that helps with your visioning, your dreams,
I usually I consciously move myself up as high as I can. And so for me, it's the Divine Galactic Blueprint. And so if you're watching this, you may not, oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, you can't see the whole thing. There it is, all the way to the top, to the crystal and rainbow. And so we all have a Divine Galactic Blueprint, and that's our blueprint for ascension, basically, for carrying our highest presence in our body of form. And I see myself literally, I roll my eye all the way up to the very top to the crystal and rainbow spot. And that's where I create, is from there. And I remember to create with a blank check.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
Meaning that you can create whatever you want. There's no limitations at all. We are limitless.
That's it. Like every day, that clean slate, the clean whiteboard, right? And bring in beautiful. I like that. Because every moment is co-creating toward that. And that's, to me, a reminder that's coming up is how we are in this particular moment and how we're feeling is helping to bring those dreams in. Feeling,
Right.
thinking, believing, all of the energies.
Right, exactly. And so much of this, the revelations that are happening right now are revealing to us why we have the fears that we have, why we have the unconscious belief systems that we have and why we maybe haven't even reached that dream yet.
Yes.
So it's a very powerful time, this retrograde, because if it can offer you the higher vantage point of something that you may have done,
Yeah.
so and I'll share part of my story. I've have this whole week and I've known our planet imploded more than once, the ones that I've been on. And I actually had a dream where I was in the experience and saw the opening of the planet and saw it fold upon itself. And I pulled myself out of the dream and went, "No, we're not doing this." Because I, at the moment, didn't really know I was being shown something, thought my dream was mastering me as opposed to me mastering my dream. So I stopped it and realized later that no, I was being shown something, and I was one of the people who helped whatever I was doing. There was many of us trying to make wherever we lived easier, trying to invent things to make it to make life better, whatever. And we used crystals and all of those things back then to do this.
Mm.
And as a result, we imploded, and I was part of that. I was one of the masterminds that caused the implosion. And one of my realizations this week was, I mean, because I've had so many Facebook posts showing, giving me reflections of that experience.
Mhm.
And something that I did, I overstimulated my body with choices I made using things to try help me heal. And then the realization that I came in with the last name of Bang. Literally, I came in
Yes.
with the last name to
Yeah.
constantly remind my subconscious that there's something you're gonna have to look at here and heal. And so we're just gonna give you this name so you can remember. And it's so funny how sometimes these little things can be such keys to massive healing, forgiveness, and understanding if we're aware of them.
That's it. And that's exactly in this energy right now. That greater awareness and are we catching them? And some of them can actually be, I mean, like I laughed so hard when you shared that insight with me, right? Of your last name. Your when you were married, that you took that on and it's like, how appropriate.
I had that, I had it for years and it didn't click until this week.
Hmm.
And so we're continuing this energy, and I guess Saturday is going to be the big revelation day. So if you're watching this and you're really passionate about, really getting through some of this stuff that may be holding you back from your dreams, because these revelations are going to be key to that. Because if I indeed was someone who helped blow up the planet, imagine what kind of judgment that came with.
Mhm.
Imagine, I know that I've had many times of life beating myself up or limiting my ability to receive. I'm going to allow myself to just have enough, but not as much as I really could, because
Mhm.
I'm still self-punishing, right?
Mhm.
So these revelations are really a key to looking to what you need to look at, love, witness, and that'll springboard you closer to your dream.
Exactly. Beautifully said. Absolutely. I'm getting a little deeper understandings myself of, how perfectly we chose our family of origin and all the aspects, the place we were born, the culture, this, and for some of us, we came through some very fundamentalist Christian upbringings.
Mhm.
And then some of us have had many, many, many lifetimes with that, where these deep, deep beliefs from this more unworthy place that I'm not literally being told you're worth less, and you're sinful. And we could, have hundreds of lifetimes in some of that, hundreds of lifetimes or thousands maybe in poverty
Mhm.
and And so getting more insights into, like Geri just shared, oh, okay, now is the time. See that? Done, over, complete.
Yeah.
Who am I really?
Yeah, really, and to really look at it from a perspective, like whatever it is, like literally, it's it's our playground. It's our creationary playground that we made to learn from and grow wisdom,
Mhm.
based on what we're doing. So there really shouldn't be judgment around any of it. If you can look at it like a computer game and you're going to be the mastery level, well, how many times did you explode, fall, and get a new man and explode and fall and get a new man and explode and fall and finally
Just
you've
start
mastered
over. We
and
just start.
finally you've mastered the game and there's no judgment in it and you became a master. Except for, we tend to do things a little differently. The judgment is huge. So
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And when you were sharing somewhere in there, I was just reminded of that. The 10,000 feet,
right.
right? And can we, when we're in the muck of something, go, oh, well, wait a minute, let me go to 10,000 feet and look back at myself. And when I do this myself or with every client, most can get this compassionate, oh my gosh, look what all you've gone through, and you are so much more beyond that. Give yourself more of that love, more of that mercy, and maybe another dose of surrender.
Yes, yes. Well, we are collectively, well, you and I, anyways, are in this practice right now of celebrating ourselves
Yes.
and writing down, before you go to bed at night. I've been doing it in the morning. I think it's better to do it at night. Um, I don't know. It sets up your dream state. So I like the idea of doing it at night. So I'm going to switch that.
Mhm.
Um, clarity as I'm sharing. um,
Absolutely.
but to write down one thing each day that you're celebrating about yourself. And wow, this practice made me realize that I needed to do that more than I thought I did. I didn't think I really needed the practice. I have a pretty good life. I have a lot of fun. And as I've been writing these things out, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, yes, I needed that." And then kind of going back and digging for more. I think it's so easy to see what you're not achieving,
Yes.
but that just
Yes.
glares louder and more constant than what you have achieved.
Yes. Yeah. That seems to be a lot of the energy we swim in a lot. And to stop and how can we love ourselves more or see when we held presence, when we did more of our goodness. And that actually builds that self-worth.
Right.
When we can go, wow, my intentions, even if that didn't work out, my intentions were quite pure,
Mhm.
right? I went into that this way. And the more that we can offer that perspective, absolutely, and then celebrate, that is adding so much to my joy level
Mhm.
in doing that.
Yeah.
And what my mentor, one of them, gave me a practice a few years back and said, if you ask yourself, if I were to die tonight, a regret I would have is.
Mhm.
And if I ask myself that, and it helps me then to live that day with more of why am I here?
Right.
I don't want to leave tonight saying, dang, why didn't I live all out me? The whole thing.
Exactly.
And yeah, and that's a good reminder without any judgment, but just going, okay, would I have a regret if I were to leave, not die, but transition to the next level? And and what is it? And that's another check mark for me, where I'm at.
Right. Excuse me, my throat is doing a thing. So,
Purifying.
so shall we pull a cards of clarity? Do you
Absolutely.
want to pull one and I'll pull one? See what we
Absolutely.
get? We'll
Yep.
do two.
What are we? Thank you, people, so much for joining us in the chat. We appreciate you. We feel your love, sending our love back to you. And did you get your new ones? I hear hard cards.
Uh-huh.
I did. Mine
Yeah,
are still
I did. I had to go all the way to LA to get my cards.
Ah, good girl. Absolutely, Nava.
And they feel.
Geri, you have anything to add to the comment in the?
Do you think that being grateful considers? Oh, yes, grateful. Boy, I mean, and we've done shows just on gratitude alone. The amount of healing you can do with gratitude. I mean, when I was at rock bottom, and I remember Oprah did a show on this as well when she had the whole dairy industry after her. And it was Maya Angelou that said to her, I want you to be grateful right here. Right here is where you have to be. She's like, there's nothing there, and that's where she had to start. And same thing when I was at rock bottom. The only way to climb up is gratitude. And it might be, I'm grateful that I'm still alive right now.
I'm breathing.
Grateful
Yes.
I'm grateful I have a bed to sleep in tonight.
That's where it's at.
Absolutely. And it grows like a ball. It
Yes.
just keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And a beautiful teacher, I remember saying to one time too, well, if you want a new house, be so grateful for the one that you have right now. So for anything, right? And yeah, that's such a celebration if you're remembering your gratitude that much more and using it. What a way to go.
Yep.
And to the point where we've shared before, and did it come up as now, that gratitude for people playing their roles when it was a big challenge for us and yet brought us the insights to get to this.
Right. Actually, that was one of my celebrations on my list was the vision I had when I burned photographs of my ex-husband. And I didn't do it out of anger. I just did it out of just felt like it was time to complete the energy. And I had the full vision of what he and our contract together was.
Yes.
And the tears of gratitude, that alone was a celebration for me that I came to that point of clarity around, freedom from that whole experience I had and what it offered. So that was actually one of my celebrations.
Beautiful. I love that. Yes. It took me quite some time and a lot of work, but for me also, when, to find the huge gratitude in my husband dying suddenly, through that process I found me, going through being crumbled to a million pieces and having to discover and open. Then that's what opened me to the spiritual world.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I hear that often with people. It's through something really tragic. That their whole spiritual side of them steps forward then.
Exactly. There's nothing else. Your whole life is such a shambles that we're finally open to.
It's complete surrender, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So I drew one that I have not drawn yet, and it's new, is Babaji.
I get that one a lot daily.
Do you?
You got it, yeah.
Okay, so everyone, this is for us all. You are the miracle. The presence of your eternal nature is calling to you, and the magic within is ready to awaken. Woohoo! Miracles are your birthright, and it is the moment to fully claim the greatest miracle of all, you. As you rise in the morning, you are the experience of the miracle of this planet, this life potentiality, this experience of love. Start each day celebrating this truth with the glorious energy of gratitude. Expand this morning recognition into the day. Consciously breathe in the restorative energy, ready to manifest miracles. I am getting filled with chills. I'm just, bubbles. It is the time for you to claim this truth without any reluctance, fear, doubt, or hesitancy. This is the moment you called out for. Stood in line. We did. Let the miracle manifest in you, through you, and as you.
Yay. And I have a new my celebration for tonight, right?
Yes.
Me. I'm still here on this planet, right?
That's true.
Just think, Babaji just reminded us to claim that miracle of us being alive, being here now, you know.
Right. I know
Having
I've
gone
had
further
potential
than
to leave. I've had potentials to leave. Car
yeah,
accident, really sick in the hospital, almost, yeah. And
yeah,
we chose to stay.
yeah.
I love your comment there too, Geri. We are worthy of a big ass celebration. The more time goes by, the more I realize the profundity of our beautiful lives.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you.
Okay, I pulled Archangel 15. Let me see. It's
Oh,
not
it disappears.
showing up with my background. So it's the Divine Galactic Blueprint.
Oh, wonderful. Yep.
Bring a hand to your heart, take in a cleansing breath, and know it is the time of completeness as actions emerge from wholeness. Your heart is anchoring as the root center of your self-ascended presence, free from the entanglements of past lives, karma, and limiting beliefs. Welcome this divine mastery energy outside of fear or doubt. You have arrived, and those around you know it. Be patient. They will realize you for the truth of who you are. Your greatest gift is to trust yourself. After all, you deserve it. And so there's a reverse side too. I'm going to read that because I think it's helpful.
It gives us insight. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you pull this in reversed, it's why are you hesitating? Breathe with closed eyes. As you open your eyes, gaze at this card again. Which chakra is calling to you? That is the message. Release hesitancy and center in the peaceful bliss of you. Smile and breathe again, and so it is. And so interesting that we had just talked about the Divine Galactic Blueprint.
Exactly. They both were so perfect with what was being shared and bubbling up for this moment.
Always, yeah. And have no doubt that we are creators, right?
Yes, yes. Well, may we all step into this, the beauty of all of that and co-create expanded dreams.
Right, right. Anchoring the ascended heart and remembering to celebrate the miracle of you.
You.
That's a great place to end.
It is. Feel like, yeah, if you see the balloons and the confetti.
Oh, dang, where's my button? Where's my explosion
Yes,
button?
yes.
Oh, God, why did I say that?
We are being more careful of the words we use now, too.
Celebration button, not explosion.
There we go.
Confetti.
Thank you all for joining.